yes, if it accrues so much value and gets so many users, yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like, you can't, here's the thing, you cannot force a free market to keep things cheap, because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value in the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work, because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput, and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day of opportunity. Let's put it that way. We've got crypto and Pulsechain market pullback, Bitcoin, Ethereum, most of the market pulling back, including Pulsechain. So we're going to get into that. Obviously, DCA for the win. We're still at the beginning of the bull market. We're going to have those cycles in the bull market on the way up, and of course, come out to the Bitcoin halving as well. We've got a few adjustments going on with the GBTC. Things like that happening, FTX and stuff like that. So we're going to get into it all and cover the markets as well as a few other things as well. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it. Let's see who else has jumped in the chat here. We got Sandy Beach. Hi, Hex Token, everybody. Good to see you, Sandy. Always a pleasure. We got Lies Beneath. Hello, how are you today? And of course, the ultimate golden crypto strategy from Richard Hart. Hex, EX, PLS, PLSX, and Center for the Win. And of course, today you can pick up a whole ton more of it with the pullback. So there we go. Nice one, Lies Beneath. We got Bloodfish King, the emoji king as well, in there as well, looking good. Good to see you. We got Red Squirrel is back again. Good to see you, Red Squirrel. Oi, oi. Red Squirrel in the house. And nice to see you back in the chat. Let me just jump through that. We got Eddie in the house there. Actually, Bloodfish King says, hey, Lies, I've been listening to the playbacks. Nice to catch Superman live. Bit of a pullback. Let's DCA. Dollar cost average for the win, 100%. It's pretty cool there. Pullback to cool off the RSI, 100%. The RSI was very overbought on a lot of Pulsechain stuff in particular. And of course, the Pulsechain ecosystem to rocket upwards. Woohoo, says Eddie. Absolutely. We got Fast Abdul in the house there. And of course, this is his famous catchphrase that he likes. Let's talk bribes. That's from Fast Abdul. Now, Fast Abdul did a project. He's got a project to PUX there. To leverage PUX, and then you can check out Rags to Riches. He did a video on that project that Fast Abdul is running. Who else has jumped in there? We got Joey Torres. Hi, Joey. Good to see you. Hexcavator as well. Hey, gang. Good to see Hexcavator in the house. Like I say, pretty much as he's single-handedly building the infrastructure, renewing the infrastructure in the United States. Maybe. It's good to see. Spike as well. Hey, boss. Good to see you, Spike. Welcome to the chat. Brennan says, don't trip by the dip, says Brennan. Good to see that piece of advice from our TA specialist in Discord. And, of course, Tyler here as well. Yo. Good to see you, Tyler. Clintrons, g'day, Hex Token crew. Who else there? Loading up on the dip today, says Tyler. Yeah, nice. It's quite useful to use the RSI. As a good measure of when to buy and when to sell and things like that. Obviously, nothing on this channel is investment advice. You got to do your own due diligence. And of course, DCAing is particularly true. DCA today, says Sandy Beach. Crypto Dan as well. Hi, guys. Hope everyone is doing good. I think everyone's doing pretty well. And yeah, if you want to join our strategy club, get in there, folks. We have all sorts of discussions and topics around multi-chain opportunities in crypto. So definitely join up with Wookie's link there. What else do we got? Let's see here. We got Wookie says dips are in the game, kids, says Wookie. Yep, a nice one there. All right, so cool. Let's move on. Let's get into the news today. So let's bring that up. And bam, let's go. All right, so stock market today. Dow closes above 38,000 for the first time as record run continues. So the stock market's having a good day. Crypto and Pulsechain may have pulled back, but stock market is doing well. And of course, let's move on from there. We got the Dow Jones at the moment is up 0.36% to 138 points to 38,000. So that's looking pretty good. Let's do the max period on the chart here. And you can see, man, all-time high here. Look at that record breaking on the Dow Jones. Remember, the Dow Jones is the top 30 industrials in the United States. At least that's in the index. And the S&P 500 is up 0.02%, and that is 10 points to 4,850. Still looking pretty good on the S&P 500, and that's looking pretty good as well. Is that an all-time high? You must be getting pretty close on that too. What else? The NASDAQ there is up 0.32%, 49 points. Let's say 50 points to 15,360. That's still got a little bit of work to do to get with the all-time high. Look, which was back here, I think, on the 12th of January 21 at 15,644, but it's getting there. Only what about less than 250 points away from all-time high for Nasdaq. The S&P 500 is Volt Index is down, and the US dollar is up slightly to 103.14. The commodities, let's have a look at that. Wait for the oil to update there. $75 for West Texas and almost $80 for Brent oil. And that's up slightly from the looks of it. Gold is at 2022 and silver at $22.18. Both of them down slightly on the old gold and silver. And really, tech stocks have really been doing quite well. So we're going to jump through some of that, though. We're just going to get to the economic news. Key growth, inflation data ahead. Top tier economic data is on the calendar for this week. That will likely filter into the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision next week. The update on the growth trajectory for the economy is scheduled on Wednesday with the release of data on fourth quarter GDP, that's gross domestic product, which is expected to come in at 2% after a 4.9% increase in the prior quarter. So that's obviously quite a bit lower. Key U.S. inflation readings on Thursday, meanwhile, will provide fresh insight on the progress towards the Fed's 2% target at time when many are reining in the expectations for a March rate cut. Yeah, interesting enough, that 2% target that the Fed's got actually came out of New Zealand's economic history, which is pretty funny that people target. I guess they think that's a pretty good level to keep inflation at out as well. The odds of a Federal Reserve cut in March have shifted to a 50-50 following a run of better data on retail sales and consumer sentiment from just under 80% a week ago. So obviously that rate cut not expected early. And so now you're talking about May, June, maybe even slightly at the beginning of the new year. So that's kind of where we are at the moment on the Fed rate hike. We're looking for that pivot, right? That from the terminal rate, and hopefully that was 5.5%. So we've got 1 week, 1 day, and 19 hours to go until the next Fed meeting on 31st of January, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, no one's expecting a pivot at this stage. So just it's going to keep up at 5.5%, 99% of the market at the moment for January. Moving to March, that has moved to, well, actually, it's moved even more in favor of a no change, 60% since that article. Moving to May, we've still got the majority of the market, 82% of the market expecting a rate pivot in May. But I'm not quite, May is probably going to happen. But May, let's get even more practical, maybe June even. Where we got there, June, yeah, everybody in June is expecting a rate cut. So May at the earliest, maybe June. Let's see how we go. The Fed is a little bit stubborn, and they always move a bit late, don't they? So that is pretty much it on the Fed rate hike. And, of course, that would be bullish, right? Lower interest rates is always good, and that means more economic activity. What else are we going to say about that? Then hopefully we'll also get an expansion, a move from a contraction to an expansion in the monetary supply would be particularly good for assets as well. So let's see how we go. Moving to crypto, of course. Wow, it's red. Blood on the streets here. Let's see, Bitcoin at 39,711, down 4.87%. So that's a pretty decent move back down for Bitcoin. It did break the 40,000. So there we go. And of course, we're hoping that it would close over 41 and then bounce back to 44. But of course, we've got too much stuff happening. So let's get into that. Bitcoin dominance 48.94%. Ethereum there down quite a bit as well. Remember, we're up over 2,600, even higher 2,700. Now we're back down to 2,318, down 6% on Ethereum. And of course, we've got proto-dank sharding testing on Goerli testing at the moment, ticking away. And of course, looking for the other two testnets to be upgraded by the 7th of February. And then, of course, expecting proto-dank sharding to roll out on mainnet by March. So that's kind of the play there. Everything else is pretty much down across the board. Solana, ADA, Dodge, AVAX. You can all see they're all pretty much down. BNB down 4.4%. The ones in the red are greater than 5%. And the ones that are pinkish red under 5% down. So there we are, red across the board. I think there was one little green little slither over there. What is that actually? I have no idea, but SC or something like that. So that is pretty much that. Let's jump over to something a little different that I don't normally go through. Is the CoinGecko list. This is the top 100. We can see if by sorting by 7 days that the biggest ones down over 7 days are Bonk. These are in the top 100 on CoinGecko. Bonk is down 23%. That's the biggest move down in the top 100. Sats is down 21% there. Su is down 20%. Say is down almost 20% there. Arbitrum, which is going to be one of the beneficiaries from the proto-dank sharding upgrade, is down 19%. Tezos there, 19% as well. Near Token down 18%. Bitcoin SV down 18%. So you can sort of see some of the big movers. Internet, computer, all down pretty big in the last 7 days. Looking at the big gainers, we've got Psycoin. It's up 25% still in the last 7 days. Star is up 16%, and Bitansor is up 15.8%. They're the big movers out of the top 100 as well. Moving to the last 24 hours, you can see that the big ones down are Astar and Near Token there, Avalanche, all the big movers down last 24 hours. And so there we go, folks. I'm not sure if that's giving me the right number there, but that is where we are. The total market cap for crypto based on CoinGecko's numbers is now 1.64 trillion is the market cap for all crypto. That's kind of where we are at this stage. The biggest gainers overall on CoinGecko looks like Nadar there, up 50%, As Match there, up 26%, and Magpie up 20% there. There we go. All right, let's move away from that to something a little different. And we're going to get into Bitcoin, of course. Bitcoin, you can see a big red candle there. Ouchie, ouchie. We did break down. I guess it was all written in the chart, wasn't it? Once we broke down that 20 EMA there, see the yellow line? Once we broke down that, I guess it was all written. And down we have come here. And we broke through all this horizontal support that we would have had at 40K, 40,500. We broke through all that too. So now we're just trying to find a nice little floor there. Maybe 37,800 to 3,800 is kind of where we may land on this move of Bitcoin before moving forward. Obviously, we're getting closer to the Bitcoin halving. The other thing, of course, we've got the US budget in play. And of course, we've got the Bitcoin halving coming up on the 15th of April there, approximately. So we're still how far away? 84 days. So plenty of action can happen between now and then. Obviously, we're super bullish around the Bitcoin ETFs and everything else. So let's get into that. We had some updates here. Bitcoin, the world's biggest cryptocurrency by market value, lost the 41,000 support level early on Monday, and of course, traders were hoping that it would hold that and bounce to 44. Traders expect prices to fall as low as 38K in the coming weeks, so it's pretty much on target with that horizontal support, which could lead to more losses in other cryptocurrencies. Recent downward pressure on Bitcoin has been attributed to sales stemming from Grayscale's GBTC Bitcoin exchange traded fund, as per some analysts, including Bloomberg's Eric Balkahunas, one of the two analysts we've been following. And of course, verified wallets belonging to Grayscale tracked and labeled by analyst firm Arkham show that the fund moved over 400 million worth of Bitcoin to custodial Coinbase Prime on Thursday, potentially a step towards eventually sale. So that's some of the news there. However, other newly approved Bitcoin ETFs are seeing net inflows And of course, BlackRock's IBIT and Fidelity ETFs there crossed the 1 billion last week. So that's pretty bullish. And we've got some more news around the Bitcoin ETFs there as well from Eric Balkahunas himself. Despite GBTC seeing a negative 590 million outflow, Gash Friday, the 9 overwhelmed it. So in other words, the 9 other NFT ETFs firms with a plus 623 million, the third best day. So everything else is doing pretty well. IBIT and FBTC both greater than 200 million as well, while BTCO and HODL had their best hauls to date. So total net flows stand at 1.2 billion as Nine's AUM, which is assets under management, hit 4 billion versus GBTC's negative 2.8 billion, upping annual assets under management share to 14%. So we can see some of those in the table there of all the Bitcoin ETFs. And we've got day 6 results there. So yeah, Fidelity and iShares there is doing very well, over 200 million. Some of the other ones there, obviously a lot lower. And then, of course, the net one there from Grayscale, GBTC, down 590, continuing the trend, right? And, of course, that is totally down 2.8 there as well. So 2.8 billion. So pretty big, decent deal there at the moment. But everything else is up. All the other Bitcoin ETFs up there with that net gain. So that's kind of where we are at the moment on the Bitcoin ETFs. And we'll just have to wait for it. I guess at that 38K mark is where we will get some support. Moving on to Ethereum, of course. Ethereum, we've got that coming up. So potentially, what I say, March there for the Prodank sharding. So that's sort of in this zone. And then, of course, we've got the Ethereum ETF as well on the 14th of May. So we've got some good news coming up for Bitcoin with the halving and Ethereum in March and May. And potentially, we've got that the federal interest rates are pivoting in May or June. Seems reasonable as well. So lots of news happening in the middle of the year. And well, let's say the end of the first half of the year, and that's pretty bullish. So let's go to Ethereum. There, Ethereum breaking down through the 20-day EMA as well. This is a big sign here, right, that it could go down much further, just like we saw with the Bitcoin. It had been holding up, remember? We've been saying how good it had been holding up on above the 20 EMA there, but that has now cracked. So one could reasonably expect that to continue to go down for the short period of time. So just keep that as a mind. We saw that in Bitcoin. Once it broke the 20 EMA, it moved down. I don't know what Brennan thinks, but let him know in the chat there, Brennan. He's our TO specialist. But that is the position there at the moment. Oh, let's change that to 50 days. So we've probably got a little bit more pain ahead of us in terms of Ethereum there. It looks like we're just below the 50 EMA there. And so, yeah, just teasing just below the 50. I've just changed it to 50 from the 20. So, yeah, just holding that. Hopefully, if we could close above it, might be a positive sign. Maybe give us a bit of support there. We do have our golden cross, right? At the 50-day over the 200-day. 200-day in blue, of course, and the 50-day and now in yellow, which I just reset. So that's the play at the moment. And we got the big news, I guess, is the Prodank sharding upgrades. We've got 2 more networks, and by the 7th of February. And, of course, that is ticking away around about here. So we've got to have all that happen. And then, of course, by March, sometime in March here, sort of over this area, the idea is if that's successful in the test nets, I remember the 3 test nets, the first one's Gurley there, that would be go live on the old Ethereum mainnet. So that would be pretty cool. So I don't know exactly when in March that might be, obviously subject to the test nets. But let's say just the middle of March, for example, would be 53 days or so. You know, if it was early March, then, you know, that's 39 days. So there we go. So about a month and a half. And we got some news on that. The supply of ETH could be impacted by Ethereum network's upcoming Deacon upgrade. And the Deacon upgrade will enable layer 2 transactions to be sent to the Ethereum network through blob space. And this is an alternative to the current transactional call data mechanism. This is what the upgrade is doing, this blob data. This could result in reduced gas usage and consequently a lower amount of ether being burned. All the other ether used to pay gas base fees for transactions is currently burned. Transactional call data makes up 90% of the cost of layer 2's pay in terms of gas fees. But after the DKIM upgrade, instead of posting their data through call data, layer 2s can use the new blob space mechanism, which has significantly lower gas costs. So if we expect layer 2s to gradually shift to using the new blob space mechanism, we could see gas prices settle at lower levels, which means less ether is burned. And so that is from the second layers, things like Optimism and Arbitrum as well. So things like that. The impact on the ETH burn mechanism is going to be pretty interesting. The possible reduction in ether burn could have an impact on the growth of ether supply. Gas demand on the Ethereum network drives ETH deflation mechanism via gas burn, which can reduce the circulating supply of ETH. The Deacon upgrade could see gas prices settle at lower levels. However, the impact of the Deacon upgrade expected around March for mainnet and the introduction of the blob space mechanism could be mitigated by other factors. The researchers stress that layer 1 demand is what significantly drives deflation, and that's talking about the Ethereum main chain itself, and that even a very high blob usage has a low impact on circulating supply. Even if we see this reduced gas price because layer 2s are using blob space, there is no real concern that Ethereum will become significantly inflationary. The point of the Deacon upgrade is to decrease gas fees for users transacting using rollups and bringing users back to the network because of lower transactional fees. So more activity means more gas overall, says Nolan there. So there's a little bit of insight into the potential impacts of the upgrades to Ethereum there with the Deacon upgrade. Now, obviously, Pulsechain is a full system state fork of Ethereum. It's also upgradable. So once again, as I had that video at the beginning of the live stream, that's talking about Richard, scaling Ethereum by having another layer 1, but like opening up another McDonald's on the other side of the street, perhaps, or another Burger King, or whatever analogy you want to use. And so Pulsechain itself is another way of making cheaper transactions if people are doing more activity on Pulsechain as opposed to on Ethereum layer 1, right? So this is something for people to get out and share, spread the word. We've had a lot of really good social media exposure with some of the biggest crypto influencers, some of the Pulsechain Hex influencers, the community itself, Richard Hart, and many others. And we've been getting millions and millions and millions and millions of views over the last couple of weeks, particularly as Pulsechain was pumping. Obviously, there's a pullback now, but that's been pretty good as well. So that also gets more activity on Pulsechain, and of course, that would eventually price up Pulsechain. At least one of the key driving factors is obviously the network effect and using the capacity that Pulsechain offers in addition to Ethereum. So Ethereum, Pulsechain also is another way of looking at the Deacon upgrade in some degree there, as you're trying to open up more of the pipe, as it were, so people can use more of the space. So pretty cool on that one. So that is pretty much Ethereum. That leads us into Pulsechain for day 255. Can you believe it? So let's get into that in a minute. Before we do though, let's catch up on the chat and see who else has jumped in here. So that's really the crypto market on the pullback. Obviously, if you've got some fresh fiat capital, you can pick up cheaper Ethereum, cheaper Bitcoin, cheaper any of the favorites that you like in crypto. You can pick up those now with the pullback. So that's kind of cool. DJN Hexagon says, "Damn lettuce hands." Yeah. Academiciated as well. Evening all. Good to see you in the house. We got HH as well. Hello. Good to see you. And Brennan says, "Blood on the streets." Yeah, it did look pretty red though on that sign there. As well. I haven't actually pulled up crypto bubbles, but we have looked at it the other day. Harry Williams, yo, good to see Harry Williams. We got Craig Pitt as well. Morning all, good to see you, Craig. Hex Token channel member as well, representing. Brennan says the Ethereum testing 50 EMA, BTC testing 100 EMA, says Brennan. Yeah, nicely said. And bounce back up from here would be ideal, says Brennan. Yeah, definitely around that 38 for Bitcoin, I think, Brennan. And Ethereum there, if it can try and hold that 50 EMA would be pretty good. That offers some degree of support, but once again, the fact that it broke the 20 EMA has got to suggest a little bit of weakness there. But hopefully, and if Bitcoin's got a little bit more to go, maybe we'll have another day of a weakness there or two. So we'll see how we get on. George Taco as well. What's up, guys? Good to see you, George. Welcome to the house. And Creepy Coin as well. Hello. Welcome, Creepy Coin. Good to see you too. All right, let's get back into Pulsechain. So day 255, we got the 55 in there. It's kind of cool. Anyway, Pulse there at 000107, down 9.13%, sitting at 7% above the mean sacrifice price at the moment. So that went really quite high, right? It got quite high. What to get up to 1.6 or something like that. So this is a nice little pullback to pick up a lot of Pulse. particularly if you want to become a validator directly, you can pick up 32 million Pulse, so much cheaper there. Pretty much not just above the mean sacrifice price. The other thing, of course, now you have the option now through David Feather to do NFTs, right? So they have NFTs where you can become a partial validator through owning NFTs, and that's kind of a neat solution. I think if you own 64 of the NFTs, that's equivalent to having one validator by yourself. But the cool thing is you don't have to run the technology, right? You don't have to worry about being home and keeping your validator running, and so you don't get penalties or miss out on revenue and thing. And so it's kind of bullish from that point of view with the NFT solution. You can find out more about that in our Discord. Dave Fetter is in there too. Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0392, down 13% on Pulsex. And of course, Pulsex really is the pick here that I really like moving forward, especially with the PuSD Earn protocol, which is a fork of liquidity coming up. That's going to add a new feature to Pulsex, collateralization. And of course, people are going to use that for security to issue the new stablecoin number 3 on Pulsechain, which will be PXDC. And of course, we've seen how successful Liquid Loans has been. I know Pulsex is going to be pretty mega successful as well with that liquidity fork on Pulsechain. Down 13%. The buy and burn, though, doesn't care about the markets so much, just wants volume, baby, yeah. And it is at 674 billion, 243 million Pulsex has been bought up and burned, which is now a very nice 3.29% of the supply. Public supply has been bought up and burned. So the buy and burn on Pulsex is doing very, very well. Now, the star of the last little rally that we had on Pulsechain was the incentive token. Boy, did it do well. And it is down 12.5% at the moment at $1.98. The ratio to Pulse, probably even more important, is 18,500. And there we are, another opportunity to get back into that. If we get back into a second run, man, that incentive looking pretty good. At the moment, we've got 22 million in supply, and of course, 118,000 burned through the TRH protocol from Jacob's ecosystem. The other thing, of course, is PHEX. PHEX had a move, was it yesterday? Before finally pulling down. It was actually the only one moving up yesterday, and then it has pulled back since then. But that was up quite a bit. Was it like 8% or something? Now down 13%, so it's had a bit of volatility as well. That was kind of late to move. You know, when Pulsex and incentive token that were rallying, Hex was kind of lagging, and then it had a little move yesterday. Now it's pulled back itself, and of course down 13% there at 1.59 cents. EHEX is at 86 hundredths of a penny. So the combined price of EHEX and PX is at 2.46 cents at the moment. So still holding up pretty well, but we got rejected again at 3 cents. We got to about 3.1 or so, or 3.2, but we really didn't get to go above 3 cents, come back and test that support and move higher. So 3 cents seems to be the boogeyman at the moment for Hex. But I know that once it pushes past there, it's off to the races, right? Off to the races. And of course, we used to be down at 1 cent, for goodness sake. And then 2 cents, and then 3 cents. So we are slowly moving up, and I'm very, very excited about Hex. Of course, that's the name of the main channel, Hex Token Channel. So there we go. All right, so that is pretty much it on day 155. Let's move into Pulsechain here. Actually, I thought I had set all these up, but I haven't. There we go. Sometimes I forget to do that. Maybe I've gas bagging or watching videos or something. I don't know, but I wasn't doing my job today. Anyway, 000106. There we go at the moment. And we have got a bullish cross, though, on the daily on the old Pulsechain. We've got tons of projects expected to come, right? Tons of them expected to launch. Let's have a quick look at that. Let me push back the overlay, and I'll get rid of that lock on there. I haven't reset these. I've got to reset all these projects, but basically all these projects are still expected to come, plus many more. We're waiting for them to launch. And, of course, where we are now, 23rd of January, so some of them are taking a little bit of time to get there, but I know when they start rolling out, it's going to be gloriously fun for all these projects. Moving to Pulsex at the moment. Let's go to that. I'm just going to run through these very quickly today. Obviously, we've got a nice little bullish cross on the EMA there, so it's a slightly different indicator, and we're just coming back to test that at the moment. The RSI was pretty much overheated on Pulse and Pulsex. It's now coming back right back off the overbought period, and of course that's above 70 on the RSI, coming back down towards the 50 line, which is here. We're currently at 57, so that's a kind of nice, cool, calm thing there as well. Maybe we'll come back and test this 21 AMA here, the green line, and of course that would be quite cool, right? That'd be quite cool to do that on Pulsex. And we've got the PuSD Earn protocol coming, so that's super bullish for Pulsex too. And incentive token, which has been the talk of the town, is down $1.96 at the moment. So man, we got way up here at $4.30. Isn't that glorious? That looks pretty good to me. Look at that rally. It was pretty nice there. We're back down at the moment. Let's bring up the Bollinger. Let's bring up the Fibonacci, and let's have a look at where that is at the stage. So Fibonacci, and this is US dollars, of course. We come right back down pretty much at the 61.8. So we're gonna get some support there. That looks kind of cool. We basically hit 61.8. Nice. That'd be very cool if we do that. That's typically where you might bounce from. Looking good. And the ratio to pulse, which is even more important. Let's go to the daily. And that is the daily there as well. Yeah, bounced off the 50 on the ratio. Even more bullish at this stage. So fingers crossed, everybody. That's kind of where we lie and get some support. Man, imagine rallying up from here. That'd be very, very cool. And here we are, 18,400. Now, we did get the ratio, got all the way up to 27,800. So doing very well on this one. Maybe if we do slip back, maybe we get back down to 15,900 on the downside. Otherwise, it looks pretty good at the 50 at this stage with the US dollars there, obviously influenced by the Pulsechain price as well. So kind of cool. Maybe 15.9. In this case, let's call it 16,000. Potentially, we could move down to there before maybe bouncing again. We'll see how we get on. That is that. And, of course, the Hex price here on PX. Quickly look at that. And, yeah, we're pretty much down at, what, the 38. We're testing the 21 EMA here. We have had a bullish cross. That's pretty much played out now. So hopefully we can try and get some support at, say, 1.5 cents. We've almost bounced off there once already. Let's see how we get on there at the moment. Obviously, got a bit of a downtrend here. Want to consolidate in the zone. We do have a bit of horizontal support in this area, obviously from our previous pump. So fingers crossed we can maintain. That's a real sign of strength, right? We did breach it, so that's a positive sign. And then maybe off to the races with that on PX. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. The RSI definitely cooled off now. We're in the overbought territory and down at 54 there. We may come down a little bit more just to retest that again. And, of course, we've got this bearish cross on the MACD as well. So that's got to play out also. So maybe if we do come back down to 61, that would get us down to 1.25 cents. So that's where we might actually head. A stronger move, of course, would be down maybe between 1.4 cents and 1.5 cents, where we've got two TA supports there. Otherwise, maybe down to 1.25 at the bottom of this move. And that way we get to cool off the RSI. We get to play out this MACD and go back up there. So that's PX. EHEX, of course, is what's that? 8,600 of a penny. And of course, this has been a bit lackluster on the old EHEX. So let's see how we get on here. Maybe we'll just mull around and do its own thing. We had our downtrend in the RSI. That's on the hourly there. Let's go to the daily. And yeah, it's a similar story. Let's hope we can hold this current price range at the moment. We have horizontal support there as well. We had our bullish EMA cross there. The RSI is almost back down to 50, and we're at 53 there as well. So kind of cool. And let's bring on the Fibonacci on this too. Have a look at that. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, a pullback maybe down to, if we break this horizontal support, maybe back down to 77 hundredths of a penny. And maybe worst case down to 69 hundredths of a penny. And then hopefully get support there. So we've got those three support levels. Let's see if we can hold this one as well. Once again, we've got the 50 at 77 hundredths of a penny, and the 61.8 at 68 hundredths of a penny. So maybe somewhere in this range we'll get to bounce off that too, as EHEX kind of does its own thing these days. And then I think ultimately, probably going to move to parity. I think there's only one sort of fundamental weakness with EHEX, and that's probably still the overhang of BankX. But apart from that, the parity move definitely possible, as we've seen that rally quite strongly when PX was rallying too. So let's see how that goes. Still early days, day 255, right? Still a long way to go there. We got the combined price of EHEX and PHEX at the moment, 2.4 cents on the chart here. There's on the daily on Investex.io, and you can see that powerful move. We got up to 3.1 cents here, and then down again. So we already tried that back in October. Just having a bit of struggles to get back over there. But I'm sure once we go, we're going to go good. And yeah, let's try and get back up to that sort of 5 cent range. That'd be pretty nice once we do that. So looking excited this year. And as we say, you know, let's pull a video in. I'm going to pull this in. Probably a good time for this video. Let's see, where is it here? This video here keeps it in the back of your mind. Obviously not financial advice, but let's hear from Richard Hart, the man himself.
Light the candles. I'll light these candles at $1 on Hex. That's the next time I'm lighting. Yeah.
I always like that video. So, yeah, there's some inspiration there. Anyway, so that's kind of the play at the moment. Let's get back into, that's day 255. Let's look at the validators at the moment. We're kicking it away at 512 validators. So that's pretty nice, moving up slowly and surely. 1.68 trillion off the market, which is pretty nice as well. What's that? Close to 10.5%, somewhere like that. Looking very, very cool. And of course, we've also got about 6.5% of Pulse off the market with liquid loans. So we're sitting around at 16.5%, 17%, somewhere in that ballpark for Pulse off the market, which is great. 255 days in, and you've got about 16.5 to 17% of Pulse off the market. That's the public Pulse, that is. That's a really good place to be. And if you consider that maybe we kicked off the bull market in November and we got a long way to run, 15, 18 months at least, then, you know, it's still early days, isn't it? All right, and we've got Bitcoin halving coming up, as we said earlier, kind of bullish. The gas prices, of course, we talked about the Deacon upgrade and with the blob data, but of course, Pulsechain is a natural extension of Ethereum, being a full system state fork based on the 10th of May, 2023. And of course, here we are with the beats at 138,000. We're already cheap, right? So encourage people to come over to Pulsechain. They may very well have a copy of their Ethereum assets on Pulsechain too. And we've got Pulsex swap at the moment, only 5 cents. No, half a penny, sorry. On the Pulsex, we've got 300th of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and we've got 1/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. So really fun place to do business on the old Pulsechain there. We've got the with 1,733 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. It is $9 to do a swap on Ethereum at the moment, so that's kind of cheap for Ethereum at this stage. 9,300 times cheaper than Bitcoin, $2.87 Bitcoin. And of course, you can see we're cheaper than a lot of the popular chains: BSC, Kronos, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, Doge Coin, Monero, Phantom, and Polygon. Even cheaper than Polygon there at 1.53x. So what's the advantage of being cheaper and faster? Well, obviously not having the pain of paying high Ethereum and Bitcoin costs for transferring coins, but really it's compounding, and we covered that yesterday, and profit sharing. These are two big aspects or attributes of the Pulsechain ecosystem. A lot of our projects are all into compounding, all into profit sharing. You guys get to keep the money, which is a great place to do business, rather than some other chains where a lot of the money goes to teams, VCs, and corporates, you know. And so it's really cool. Pulsechain really is leading DeFi with that compounding and making the most of those cheap, fast gas fees, and of course that big extra capacity that Pulsechain has added into the blockchain space. So pretty cool. All right, so day 255, we're going to be done today in day 256. Let's get into our second category, which is the top PRC 20s. We can see everything is pretty much down. Everything is pretty much down. You can see that on my watch list for PRC 20s. So that is pretty much it at the moment. The PDI, though, PDI was standing out really well yesterday. And I thought, man, is this thing going to defy the odds? And PDI is looking particularly strong at the moment. It is at 0.0087, but yesterday it was up at 0.001, so over 1/10 of a penny. Yeah, this thing still looks like it's pretty strong to me. Now, speculative, of course, but yeah, doing pretty well there at the moment. Wrap Bitcoin, the question is, Wrap Bitcoin going to follow the Bitcoin narrative as Bitcoin enters that bull market, you know, gets up to these big numbers that we're expecting for Bitcoin of at least maybe, you know, some people have 80, 90K, but I think more reasonably 150 to 180K. That seems like a 3x from the previous all-time high in 21. So I think a 3x is quite reasonable for Bitcoin, especially now we have the biggest money buyers potentially in the world coming in to buy Bitcoin through the ETFs. So 150, 180 seems a pretty reasonable number. If we get up to the market cap of gold, of course, for Bitcoin, that'd be about $10 trillion, and that would be around about $400,000 for Bitcoin. You know, maybe on the low side, 89 if you're really skeptical, but I think a reasonable 3x, quite doable, 150 to 180 for Bitcoin. And of course, maybe if it starts to head to the gold valuation, which does seem like a natural target, then maybe that's $400,000 Bitcoin. Now, obviously, there are bigger people with bigger prices in due course. Talk about $1 million of Bitcoin, and well beyond that, some pretty insane numbers. Then, you know, you can play around with those. But in terms of the next bull market, definitely 150, maybe to 400K is definitely on the table there for the Bitcoin move. Now we've got Bitcoin ETFs and of course growing and growing. And of course, we're going to have the Ethereum ETFs come up in May, which is also going to add a lot of extra capital into crypto as well. And there's about 7 of those so far, so it's looking pretty bullish. Now, will wrap Bitcoin on Pulsechain follow that narrative up? It's going to be really interesting to see. Currently $52. We have seen it move over $100 and back again. So it has got that volatility in it, remember. But it'll be interesting to see whether that can play out. Now, the other one there, we're going to call it the big brother, I guess, of a DAI, is a Troper, and that is down 20% at the moment as well. So everything pretty much down. SHIB is down 14%, and Pepe is down 9% also. So pretty much everything on our PRC20 list is down with the Pulsechain move. Let's go to the meme coins, our third category. Everything is down from there as well. Blast, that new one that's been launched there, down 32%. Axis Alive, which has really been a star here on Pulsechain, had a massive rally all the way up to 24,000. That's Axis Alive, of course, one of the influencers in the Pulsechain Hex community and a TA specialist. Now, that is down to about 17,000 at the moment, but it seems, I don't know, pretty resilient. Is this going to be another low, a higher low? We're going to be watching this one with, pretty interest there. I think it's been performing pretty well. Now, Randy's Alaski Note token. Man, oh man. Well, look what happened yesterday. Massive amount of volume came in yesterday. Look at this thing. Absolutely pumped yesterday out of nowhere. Some big volume came in, pumped it all the way up. I mean, that was a big move yesterday. And it had been slowly creeping up, right? And then, bam, it got a big push, a 94% gain in the day. And, of course, has pulled back a little bit there. Now it is to 1,700 of a penny. But did get up to just under, well, pretty much around 0.2 of a penny. So exciting stuff there with that big volume out of nowhere. I don't know if anyone knows where that came from or any gossip around that, but that is what happened on the chart. Mega is down 4%, Reflux down 20%, Hex Orange Address down 7% there, Poor Pleb down 13%, where the ETH go down 13% as well. And remember, Poor Pleb is a Hexy Bastards coin. That's down 13%. There's quite a few influences in the meme coin space. I guess it's not a surprise, really. And then Dodge down 18% as well. Pulse Dodge down 16%. This new Duck token down 20%. Now, there's quite a few new tokens coming out, most days, isn't there? So you just have to be careful which ones you're looking at. But nevertheless, BitBoy Ben. Now, you guys know that this week, BitBoy or Ben Armstrong, formerly BitBoy, right, got pushed out of BitBoy. Got pushed out of... I've forgotten the name now. Anyway, he got pushed out of there and is now doing his own thing, Ben Armstrong. And he is doing a video on Pulsechain and Hex this week. That's due out this week. So that's more big coverage for Pulsechain. And maybe Ben token will rally this week. So keep an eye out on that one. Obviously, you got to buy before the move. It is a speculative play. But it'll be interesting to see whether his videos actually move the market or not. It's not a given, of course. But definitely going to be interesting to see whether it does. Floppy Slippers down 11%, etc. We've got some new meme coins here. Trump. So yeah, Duck and Trump, Blast. They're all kind of new in this space here on my list. So we're going to keep adding and removing things from that. So let's get to the main event though. Category number 4, Pulsechain projects. And as no surprise, everything is down on here too today. And of course, you guys know I sort by liquidity, just to have the liquidity ones at the top there. But everyone's pretty much down. Now, what does this mean? This means obviously it's up to you what you do, but you can pick off some of the blue chips when they have decent pullbacks. You can always look at some of the blue chips there as we're still early in the bull market. And of course, you've got someone like Watt Token there from Power City. Now, obviously, Power City is the next big blue chip to launch with the Power City Earn protocol. And no doubt they'll have profit sharing starting from Portal X and the Earn protocol going into the Power City core, which is up and running. And so I think that's going to be fun to see. And any pullback on these might be a good opportunity. Tetra, of course, got a number of projects coming up as well. And, of course, they've already got their V2, V3 decks. Now, I was listening to another influencer on another project talking about Pulsechain having no V3 decks. Well, Tetra has a V3 in there, and I know of another V3 decks coming to Pulsechain also. So mum's the word, of course, but that is definitely playing out and down 5.5%. Patius there, which has been absolutely amazing. Let's jump into Patius here. Really has been one of the stars. There's one of the blue chips. As you guys know, it's dominating DEX aggregating, I guess, along with Portal X. Portal X now has MEV bot protection like Patius, but Patius has been doing so good with the volume. And I think one day they had $20 million in volume. So really starting to get those big numbers on Pulsechain. And we are sitting at 11 cents at the moment, but we have been as high as 14.5 cents. So Petius, they're looking really, really good and well deserved, right? You guys know most people are using that now, MEV bot protection and routes through very cleanly. I think this is what they use for Internet Money Wallet as well, for swapping and other applications. So a lot of in-house stuff there as well. Well, let's call them kissing cousins, shall we? No, let's not go there. Hashtag family channel, and that's kind of where we're at the moment. So we got P-Drip at the moment down 14%. Loan token there, another one of the blue chips, down 12%. So another opportunity potentially to pick up a bit more volume there. Pulsepot, which has been performing very well, $3.43, holding up pretty well there from Jacob's ecosystem. And as you guys know, I'll be covering a lot of his projects. TYCZ coming up, PUSD Algo, we're going to talk about that in a minute, and of course TYRHV4, which is a lot of people waiting for that to come out. So it's a good chance to pick up some of those popular assets there. So Pulsepot doing very well there, the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino, and they got more games coming out soon too. So it's going to be fun. And then they're going to have games that are based on the Fetch Oracle coming a bit later. So lots of stuff happening there for Mintra. So that's kind of cool. Let's quickly go through the rest of these. Mintra there down 15%. What else there? TRH down 8% there. Beetroot, another utility, amazing privacy hub. And of course, you can do single-sided staking there for Richard Hart's tokens, Pulsex and stuff like that. You can make earnings there with their product called SugarBeet. That's on Beetroot, and also privacy hub transactions. That's down 9% there. Another one, blue chip. Time token has been doing very well lately as well, of course, and I covered that 2 days ago. Look at this chart, looking very good. So we've got a couple of these charts, haven't we, that look like this at the moment. And here we are at 32 of a penny for Internet Money, and their volume absolutely last week absolutely rocketed, which means the profit sharing must have jumped dramatically for people that have time token on the Pulsechain network in particular, right? That was where the volume really jumped, millions of dollars. So definitely something big happened there, and it'll be interesting to see that play out. And adoption's happening as well, right? So that's what you want, man. As time token, as Internet Money Wallet can continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, it's going to be so much to see that play out as well. Some other ones that have been doing kind of well there was the Texan token and Ophir there, the two endowment tokens, Texan and Ophir. They had been doing pretty well lately as well. That's from Rags to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat, two big influences in the Pulsechain Hex space there. And that chart's looking pretty good also, isn't it? So kind of nice there. Good stuff happening. That's the Ophir one as well. So endowment token looking pretty good. Look at that. Wow. So looking pretty nice there on the old endowment tokens from Rags to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat. Kind of cool there. So everything's kind of down a little bit today, but a lot of them are still up quite high, right? I just showed you a number of charts, Pulsechain projects that are still up quite a bit, even with the pullback today. They're still looking very good. So maybe an opportunity there to pick up some of those. So anyway, that is, I won't go through all of them, but that is a lot of the highlights there. That leads us into, of course, the Algo, PUSD Algo. Now, obviously, this is a project that's coming up on Pulsechain from Jacob's ecosystem. Arguably one of the most innovative, if not the most innovative dev in the Pulsechain community. Obviously, having launched BNB Pod on BNB Chain, now Pulsepot on the Pulsechain, which is going very well indeed. And, of course, TYRH, which was one of the very best, if not the best, GameFi protocol for quite a while. Obviously had a code issue that sort of made that stumble, but we're expecting TYRH v4 to come out, which is a major upgrade. So that's expected to come out soon as well, and that will get things back on track, I'm sure. Otherwise, the tokens are trading pretty well. The other thing, of course, is it's also we've got TYCZ on BNB chain. That's going to be basically a DeFi Binance. Looks amazing. I'm really excited about the last format I saw for that. And of course, now we also have PUSD Algo coming to Pulsechain, potentially the fourth stablecoin on Pulsechain, but the first algorithmic one. And of course, the first one that's going to be full on DeFi, and of course, limit orders, bots, trading, and stuff like that. And so far, we saw the prototype launch on Pulsechain operating very well, making tons of fees. So I was very excited about where that went. Now, you guys can participate in this. Obviously, some of the mechanisms of it that you will be able to buy Algo, which is going to be a new token, and mint PUSD stablecoin. And PUSD, of course, an awesome brand name as a stablecoin. And then, of course, people are going to be able to provide liquidity on the stability miner and help support that price as well. And they will be able to provide all sorts of different types of liquidity to get earnings for providing liquidity. So it's going to be pretty amazing. Also, you're going to be able to stake. You're able to, any activity you do on there, you're going to be able to earn Flex token and make earnings off that as well. So that means if whatever activity you're getting paid for, if you're interacting, you get paid for it. So it's kind of neat. And the fees come from a V3 DEX. So you're going to earn that utility fees, which is quite sustainable from that point of view, as long as people are using the platform. It's kind of a positive cycle there. And then, of course, you can stake Algo and PUSD, just like a little bit like Anchor used to have with 20%. But, of course, these are going to be more modest returns to reflect a more modest protocol. And, of course, you're going to have Algo staking and PUSD staking there as well. Obviously, you'll be able to redeem your PUSD stablecoin for Algo as opposed to trading it on the market. And, of course, you'll be able to also do some swaps. You can swap around as well and unwrap a fourth reward token, which will be wrap USD, PUSD, which is pretty cool. So the sacrifice is open at the moment, day 59 of 90. So there's 31 days left to go. There are 2 bonuses by participating in Sacrifice Lobby. Obviously, it's more speculative project than others, but here's the kicker. 75% of the sacrifice funds will be going straight back into the protocol at day 1. So we're expecting 50% to go into liquidity pools. There's going to be about 4 liquidity pools, as I understand it. And we're going to have 25% go straight into Stability Miner so that the protocol is operating day 1. And people will be able to get that Algo coin and mint out stable coins and go off and buy good stuff and all that good sort of thing. Now, the PUSD is going to be pegged to USDL for Liquid Line's liquidity fork. So it's going to have all the stability inbuilt mechanisms from that as well, which is kind of cool. Now, at the moment, of course, you can use any accepted tokens, Pulsechain or Ethereum here on the accepted tokens list. All you have to do is send it to this address here, which is E223. That's what it ends with. And that's how easy it is. It will record what you sent there and credit you the amount of tokens that you deserve. So for every dollar you sacrifice, you get 20 Algo coins, which is kind of like the Luna coin. You get 200 Flex tokens there. That's the incentive rewards. And you get the stablecoin reward there as well, 0.01 wrap PUSD, which, of course, you can unwrap as well. But I'm very excited about this. I think this could be huge. It's going to solve one of the big issues around scalability and big TVL, attracting some of the big players to Pulsechain. Really is cool like that. And, of course, adding more solutions to the Pulsechain, what they call the stablecoin trilemma, being able to scale stablecoins on Pulsechain. So it's really, really awesome. At the moment, you can get 2 different bonuses. One is a referral bonus. I've got a link to the 19%, which is pretty much the second highest one you can get. So you can use that straight away and start winning with your sacrifice. That link is in the video description. The second one is if you do over $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus, then you get a bonus X, what they call bonus X. That's your second bonus. Now, we don't know what that's going to be. It's going to be a random multiplier between 1.01 and 2X. So it could be anything in that range. For example, we've got some examples here. This person down here at number 17 used a 19% referral like the one in the video description. They did over $1,000, which is inclusive of that referral bonus. And they ended up getting automatically allocated a bonus X, either bonus X in that column. They automatically got, and they got a very high one. In this case, they got 1.92. And, of course, so that turned their $4,300 into $8,356. And for every dollar that they have with those 2 bonuses, they get this allocation, 20 Algo coins, 200 Flex, and 0.01 wrapped PUSD. And, of course, you can see their allocation. They got 167,000 Algo coins. They got almost 1.7 million Flex tokens, which is the incentive token. It's the stuff that you do by just doing activity on the platform. And it's paid, the fees are paid out of the V3 DEX, which is operating. And, of course, they got 83 wrapped PUSD stablecoins there, which is the reward version, right? It gets locked in. You get it after a period of time, and you can unwrap it into PUSD stablecoins and so forth. So that is what you got there. That's how it works. So check it out. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. Speculative, of course, but potential for upside is ginormous. So you got a relatively low capital raise, potential a huge commercial upside, but is speculative. So do your own due diligence. Nothing on this channel is investment advice, all that good stuff. So that leads us into Hex, of course. We always like to get paid. Before we do that, though, let's get back into the chat and see who else has jumped in here. All right. We got up to Creepy Coin, I'm pretty sure. We got Check My Pulse. What's up, you all? Hey, good to see you. Check My Pulse. We got Crypto Jack 3, LFG, INC. Yeah, INC was doing so well. Really amazing how well it was doing. Oh, we got 5 memberships up and running there. Good 5 Hex memberships. Let's see who got them. Blair got one. Crypto Incognito got one. Not so incognito now, though. And we got Jonathan Kampala. Well done to you, Jonathan. Genuine, one of our moderators, got one. Well done to you. And Lal Haig got one too there. So congratulations and a big shout out for Archie for sponsoring those 5 new members. So big shout out. Don't forget, if you're a new member, to use the emojis. You get access to the emojis in the chat there. So definitely got into that as well. Pound for Pound says I got one as well. So there we go. Not sure how that happened, but apparently it did. All right, so cool. Well done. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's see who else there. We got Archie here. Yeah, Archie came in and dropped the offer there with the free memberships. Welcome, Archie. And we got Ray Refined as well. Superman, ahoy, Captain. There's a salute for you. And Brendan says, will he light the candles at combined price Hex or both chains? Yeah, true. $1. What's up, Hexagons? Says in top. Hey, good to see you. Adam says, we are here to pump you up, says Adam. I like that. I like that a lot. I love the positivity. Who else is here? We got Crypto Class, another influencer in the space there. Hey, Sandy, Tin Top Brennan, Lies Beneath. Good morning there from Crypto Class. And then we've got Sandy Beach as well, of course, another influencer shouting out, hey, Class, go, go, go. We got the powers there, the powers. We got Pound for Pound. Good to see you as well. And yeah, let's get lit on that one. What else we got? I think that's it. Fast Abdul says, you could be like a cool green people, says Fast Abdul, indeed. All right, let's get into it. Have we got the Hex Day stats? I've got to double check again because I've always been front running these every day. Yeah, we still haven't got them out yet, so I might have to talk about it tomorrow. It can take a little while. Oh, we got 26 minutes. Yeah, we're 26 minutes into the day, and they're still not showing up on the Hex Daily stats. So it's just not my luck these days. Let's get into the hex.com though. If you haven't got hex.com, check it out. Obviously, it's the name of the channel. It's Hex Token channel. Obviously, I've got 2 other channels we're streaming to as well, Superman Crypto and Pulsechain YouTube. Over 10,500 subscribers. So big shout out to everybody. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell, of course. This is YouTube after all. And leave any comments. If you're watching maybe after the live stream, leave some comments. Helps with their algorithm as well. Get in there also. Hex.com, so you can buy Hex on either Ethereum or Pulsechain, and then you can burn it for T-shares. T-shares are what we call T-share miners. Really stands for trillions of shares. And of course, you can start mining Hex, which is the way to do it. Hex.com, link is in the video description. Now, the daily payout, not out yet, I don't think. So it should be out, but it's not. We're still stuck with 1511 there. We're waiting for day 1512. Not quite out yet at the moment, but normally we'll cover that. We might end up covering that tomorrow. Since it hasn't come out yet. So there we go. But in any case, you can pick up some T-shares. If you have any questions, get into our Discord. We do have a crypto helpline on different topics, and the community helps answer that. We have moderators and the community members help answer a lot of crypto questions. We've helped so many people. Must be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people have been helped in the crypto helpline. So if you need some help there, it's a good place to be. I think pretty sure we're the only ones with a crypto helpline in our Discord, which is a Pulsechain Hex Discord. And of course, we do have a private club for multi-chain topics, which is our strategy club in Discord as well. So you can join that also. So to join the Discord is $5 a month. That's 16 cents a day to join this Pulsechain Hex Discord. To join the strategy club, that is $35 a month as well. So we cover projects on multiple chains, Ethereum, BNB, Pulsechain, and anything else that looks particularly good. So definitely want to get into that for the upcoming next session that we're going to have this weekend. So kind of cool. All right, there is the Discord link. Well done there, Lies, posting it like a champion. Archie says it's wild to think we're on day 1512 in Hex. I know. So if you think that Hex has been around a long time, we're in our 5th year, for goodness sake. That's amazing. We just had our 4th birthday. We just had the 4th Hex conference run by Matty Allen, which did an amazing job there. I think he achieved a world record, if I understand, with the amount of YouTubers on the screen at one time. So it's been pretty eventful transition into the 5th year for Hex. Pretty amazing stuff there, and I'm very excited. I think it's a great time to join Hex right now. The prices are just so good to entry. And if you're bullish about the bull market, man, Hex could really do something magical. And you could be on the magic carpet ride, as Richard often says. So that could be pretty fun indeed. In fact, have I got a video on the magic carpet ride? I'm pretty sure I do. Here's my video on the magic carpet ride. Did I name it the magic carpet ride? I kind of felt like I did. Let's see here. Where's the video there? Yeah, magic carpet. Let's watch this, eh? I think we're going to watch this. Let's see if the Hex daily stats is out quite yet. No, 511. No, we're going to have to cover it tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. It's been an hour, and enjoy the magic carpet ride on the way out. Don't forget, see you in Discord. We're there all the time. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Onwards and upwards. The DCA on the win for the win, and then a pullback's been a nice little reprieve there. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. And enjoy the magic carpet ride from Richard Hart here. This video is so bullish. All right, bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.